Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be building this portfolio website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we got our Navbar at the top, then we got our hero section where we can download our resume or we can view our projects. Scrolling down, we got our About Me section. Then we got our Experience section to showcase the previous jobs we used to work. Then we got our Project section to showcase our best projects. And at the bottom, we got a contact form where we use email.js to handle our form submissions. Anything submitted in this form will get sent directly to our email. And also, this website is fully responsive. So let's go to mobile. So here is the mobile view of our website. We got our mobile menu. Once we click on the link, the mobile menu closes. Got our portfolio section. We got our contact section down there. So I say we go ahead and get started on this project. All right, so we're going to start off by creating 3 files. We're going to create an index.html, a style.css, and an app.js. And also have an assets folder here with all of the images we'll be using for this project. Inside of the description, there's going to be a Google Drive link. You guys can download these images. I recommend building a project with these images that I have here. And then at the end, you can switch them out for your own stuff. So for example, these 4 images here are going to be used in our experience section. So maybe at the end of the project, you want to switch these out for company logos that you used to work for. And then also, this is a picture of me. You can switch this out for an image of yourself. And then here we got 4 projects we'll be using for our project section. I'm going to show you guys how to get a full-size screenshot like this using DevTools once we get to that section. And yeah, you guys can switch these out for projects that you completed. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Inside of the index.html, we're going to do an exclamation point, and then we're going to press enter. A little boilerplate, and we can change the title. You can put your name. I'm going to put Antonio Rogers for portfolio. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and open up our live server. And if you guys don't have this extension, you can head over to extensions and just type in live server, and it'll be the first one. Just download it. So what you want to do is just right click on your HTML and click on open with live server. And it should open up in the browser at this domain 127.0.05500. Not sure if yours will be different. Inside of the body, I'm gonna do H1 and say hello world, just to make sure everything is working. Give this a refresh, and perfect. All right, let's head over to Google Fonts, and we're gonna get our fonts that we'll be using for this project. I'm gonna type in Merriweather. Click on that. Scroll down. We can just, I think we click on Get Font. And maybe get embedded code. And then here it's going to say copy the first inside of our head of our HTML. Let's do that one. Let's copy that. Head over to our HTML, and inside of the head, right under the meta there, we're going to paste that in there. All right, so that is our first font. We're going to get another font for our logo, which is like a little cursive font. Let's head back to fonts, and this is called Arizonia. That. Click on Get Font, get embedded code, and copy this as well. Wait, so yeah, that's copying the Merriweather. Oh yeah, so we could just copy this, and it's going to copy the Merriweather and the Arizonia. So let's get rid of this here and paste that in there, so save some space. So yeah, so we got Arizonia and Merriweather. All right, so let's head over to, actually inside of our index still, we're going to do a link. So if you type in link, we should have these autocompletes here, and you're going to do link CSS. That's going to link our style sheet to our index.html. So what I'm thinking about doing is we're going to do each section one by one. So we're going to start with our navbar, We're going to do the styling for our nav bar, make it responsive and everything. Then we're going to do our hero section and do our styling for our hero section, and then so on. So let's just do our resets for now. So we're going to do a box size and border box. I'm going to do a font family of Merriweather. And then we're going to do a comma sans serif. It's like our fallback font. Then we're going to do a margin of 0 and then a padding of 0. So this is just a general reset of everything. So once I click save, as you can see, the padding and the margin resets. All right. And then we're going to do a body. And we want our body background color to be pound F8 F9 FA. Give that a save. Turns into like a little light gray. You can't really tell. Then we're going to HTML. And it's going to be a scroll behavior of smooth. And I'm actually going to comment this out because I want to show you guys what this do once we get to there. And then we're going to do, for all A tags, we're going to do a text for all A tags, we're going to do a text decoration of none. And then we're going to do a color of inherit. So get rid of that little blue color that's on like the little link tags. And then for LIs, we're going to do a list style of none. And for all images, we're going to do a max width of 100%. A display of block. And also a height of auto. Alright, so that's all for our images. And we can actually uncomment this out. Once we get to that section, I'll go back to this. So let's head over to our index. And let's start with our nav bar. So let's get rid of this. So inside of our body, we're going to do a header. All right, so inside of this header, we're going to have a div with a class of container and also navbar. All right, and then here we're going to have a h1 with the a tag in there, and this is going to be our logo. And this is going to lead us back to home. And inside here, we're going to have our name. So just put your name and then put the first letter of your last name. So maybe do Antonio R. Perfect. All right. And once we hover, it should. All right. That's our logo. And this is also going to have a class of logo. All right, so right under here, we're going to have a nav. I'm going to give this nav a role of navigation. We're going to have a UL in here with a class of nav menu. All right, so it's going to be our nav links. We're going to have a LI with the A tag. First one's going to lead us back to home. And it's just going to say home. All right, take a look. We got our home. Let's actually copy this here and paste it 4 more times and just switch it up. So we got home, we got about, switch this to about. We're going to have experience, switch this to experience, variant. Then we're going to have portfolio, push that to a portfolio. And we're going to have contact. All right. We got our nav links there. And as you can see, our LI has no list style. So that because of our reset we did here for our LIs. And also our A tag don't have that. So if I remove this, you're going to see it turn like blue. You see it's like underlined and blue. So yeah, that's what those resets are for. Right underneath our nav, we're gonna have a button. And this button is going to have a class of hamburger. It's gonna be our hamburger menu. We're gonna make it from scratch. We're not gonna use no icon. We're gonna make this from scratch. And we're also gonna give this an area label of toggle navigation. Add some accessibility to this. And we're gonna have 3 spans in here. Nothing inside of the spans. However, they're each gonna have a class name of bar. Copy this. All right, let's take a look. You won't see anything because we don't have a width or a height for these spans. All right, so that right there is our navbar, just like that. So I'm actually going to write a comment here and just do maybe navigation here. All right, cool. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and style this up now. So right underneath our HTML there, we're going to have our navbar styling. So let's just do navbar styling. Now I really recommend maybe commenting like what styling is which, because this file is I'm scrolling down right now, it's about 500 lines of CSS. So yeah, really just make sure you make these comments. It's gonna really come in handy. You can make it a little bit better like this. Yeah, that looks better. All right, so it's gonna be our navbar style in here. So we're gonna take our header and we're gonna give it a width of 100%. We're gonna take our height. It's going to be a height of 60 pixels. We're gonna do a border bottom. Border bottom of 1 pixel, solid, and then the color is going to be just be EEE. All right, I'm going to give it a background color of just white, and we're going to do a display of flex. I'm going to give it a position of sticky. And we're also going to give it a Z index of just 9999. And we're going to give it a top of 0. Take a look. All right, so we got that. We got our header. And now let's do our navbar. Grab our navbar. And this is going to have a display of flex. So once we do that, they should all be next to each other. And we're going to do a line item center and a justify content space between. Take a look. Give it a refresh maybe. Okay. I see what's wrong. So if we head over to our index.html, we made this container. In this container, we're going to use in a bunch of our code. So let's head back over to our style, and we're going to make sure we add this to up here under resets. So we're going to do a container like that, and this container is going to be a width of 90%, a margin of 0 auto, and then we're going to do a max width of 1450 pixels. All right, and as you can see, now we have that justify content space between. But as you can see, our hamburger menu is taking up that space. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that now. We're gonna do .hamburger because we only want this to show on mobile. We're gonna do a display of none. All right, get rid of that, and we're also gonna do a Z index of. Actually, I don't think we even need that Z index right now. All right. So now right under navbar, we're going to grab our logo. I'm going to do a font size of 2 rem, a line height of 24 pixels, and a letter spacing of 1 pixel. And then we're going to change the font family for this one to Arizona. And for the fallback, it's going to be sans serif. Take a look. Nice little cursive font. All right, let's grab our nav menu. So these links here, do nav menu, nav dash menu, and we're gonna do a display of flex, a gap of 30 pixels, font size of 12 pixels, and a Z index of 99. Nice. All right. So now let's go ahead, let's get rid of this display none. Let's just comment it out because we're gonna start styling our hamburger menu. So we're gonna do hamburger, and we're gonna grab all the spans. We're gonna do span. And we're gonna do a background color of pound 212529. And do a display a block. So once we do that, we should see, maybe not, we didn't give it a width or a height yet. So let's do a width of 20 pixels and a height of 2 pixels. We should see like a little block now, you can see. And we forgot to do a general reset on button as well. So as you can see, if you look closely, let me just zoom in some. See like the little outline. It's because we didn't do a general reset for our button. So yeah, let's do a general reset. We're gonna head over here under HTML. We're gonna do button. So for all our buttons, we want the background color to be 212529. And do a border of none. But I should get rid of that border now. We're gonna do a padding of 5 pixels, 10 pixels, a color of white, so this changes the text color, a border radius of 5 pixels, and a cursor pointer. And also we're gonna give a transition all 0.5 seconds. So yeah, let's see. So right here, right underneath our hamburger span, we're gonna grab our pound navbar. We're gonna grab the button inside of our navbar. We're gonna do a padding of 0. We're gonna do a background color of transparent. We're gonna do, so we already got cursor pointer. We're gonna do a border radius of 0. All right. So just get rid of that styling. We do want a hover effect. We're gonna change the background whenever we hover over our buttons. So we're gonna do a button, hover, and this is just going to change the background color to black. All right. Let's scroll down here. We get our span. All right, let's finish this. So right in our so we're grabbing our hamburger spans. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a margin 5 pixels 0. So I should make it into like the hamburger menu. And we also gonna do a transition all 0.3 seconds. And then we're gonna do ease in and out. All right. And now we can go ahead and uncomment this. And let me actually move this up here. Uncomment that out just to get rid of that. Then we'll move our navbar button up here as well. Let's put it right underneath there. All right, cool. So now we got our nav menu, but we need to make it responsive. So we head over to our dev tools. All right, as you can see, it's not responsive. So let's go ahead and make this responsive now. So right underneath here, we're going to do a at media only screen and max width 768 pixels. So we're going to first grab our hamburger menu and we're going to do a display a block. All right, let's take a look. Once we get down to, so as you can see, once we get down there, our hamburger menu shows. All right, perfect. And we're going to grab our nav menu now. And we're going to do a position of fixed. We're going to do a top of 0, a right of 0, a width of 100%, and a height of 100%. And also let's do a flex direction column and align item center. All right, let's take a look. You can see it's right there in the center. Let's change the background color. We're gonna change it to 212529. We're gonna change the text color to white. And we're also gonna do a padding of 20 pixels, top and bottom, and then 0 left and right. You can see it's right there. We could also do a padding top. Let's do a padding top of 6 rem. I wonder if we can do a justify content center instead of doing that padding top. Yeah, I think that would be better. So let's do that. Let's do the justify content center. All right, so we got our nav menu. So we obviously don't want this nav menu to be open. So let's go ahead and hide this. But before we hide it, let's give it a gap of 3 rem. Let's see how that looks. All right, cool. And then we also can give it a z index of 10. All right, so let's go ahead and hide this now. So we're going to do a left of negative 100%. Get rid of it. So now it's off the screen. So we're going to use JavaScript to make it come back on the screen. So let's actually comment that out now. Bring it back because we want to add some more effects to this. I'm going to do a nav menu, li, hover. I'm going to do a text decoration of underline. All right, so now we're going to add a active class to our nav menu. So if you check our index.html, we don't have this active class. That's because we're going to use JavaScript to add this in once the button is clicked. So as you can see, we commented this left negative 100%. So let's uncomment that out. And our nav menu is gone. So this nav menu active class, so nav menu dot active, this is going to make the nav menu be left of 0. So this is going to bring it back. It's going to basically open the nav menu. So let me just show an example here. So we head over to our nav menu, our UO here. And if we add this active class here, like that, as you can see, our nav menu is there. And if we take it off, our nav menu is gone. So we're going to use JavaScript to toggle between active and not active. All right, so head over to app.js. And at the top of mine, I'm just going to write Navbar. All right. So we want to grab our hamburger menu. We're going to grab our nav menu, and we also want to grab our nav links. So to do that, we're going to use query selector. So we're going to do a cons hamburger, and then we're going to document.query selector, and we're grabbing the class hamburger. And same for our nav menu, we're just grabbing the class nav-menu. And then for our nav links, we're just grabbing query selector all, and we're grabbing all of the LIs. All right. So we're going to have a event listener to our, we're going to add an event listener to our hamburger menu. So we're going to do hamburger.add event listener. And this takes 2 arguments. So we're going to do, the first argument is going to be a click. And then the second one is going to be a function. So inside this function, we're just going to toggle between our active classes. So we made one already for our nav menu. .classless.toggle, and we're toggling the active class. All right. So that's the active class that we made inside of our styles. Our CSS file. So now we're gonna do the same thing for our hamburger. So we didn't create this one yet. Our class list dot toggle, and we're toggling active as well for this one. All right. And now we want another function. It's going to be a close menu. So function close menu is hamburger dot class list dot toggle. Actually, sorry, dot remove. We're gonna remove the active class. All right. And then same for our nav menu. Let me just copy this. And we're just going to remove. All right. Perfect. And now we're going to do a for each loop for our link. So whenever we click on a link, we want it to close the menu. So we're going to do a nav links dot for each. And we're going to take in a link. We're going to return a link dot add event listener. And same thing, so listen out for a click. And then we're gonna run our close menu function. All right, cool. So if we check this, as you can see, nothing happens. And that's because inside of our index, we gotta make sure we add our script at the bottom here. So it's still inside of our body, right underneath our header. We're gonna do a script and do src app.js. Give that a save. And now once we click, as you can see, the mobile menu opens, but we don't have any active classes for our hamburger menu. So we can't close out of this right now. Maybe if we give it a refresh, maybe it'll close. All right, perfect. So let's head over to our styles and let's add some active classes for our hamburger menu. So I do want to add that Z index at the top of here. I'm gonna do a Z index of 999. All right, and that's really important because once we click on this, as you can see, we want the mobile menu to be there. Maybe I need to add a Z index to this as well. So we got our Z index of 999. I want the mobile menu to still be there. I wonder why it's not. Oh, that's because it's the same color. Let's see if this works. Let's change the color to white. Let's see if we should see it. Maybe not. Oh, it's background color. Yeah, let's change this to white right quick and let's see if we can see it. Okay, so yeah, we can see it. Let's get rid of Z index and see if it makes a difference. So yeah, that Z index is really important here. So let's go ahead and put that back there and then switch this back to our color there. All right. So let's go ahead and add our hamburger active classes at the bottom here. I'm gonna do a hamburger.active. And then we're gonna do .bar. We're grabbing our bars. And then we grab the inf child of 2. So inf child of 2. So this is grabbing the middle child. There's only 3 of them, so we're grabbing the second one. And we're gonna change the opacity to 0. Let's switch this to white for now, just so we can see our changes. I think that would be better. So as you can see, it took away that middle bar there with the opacity 0. All right. And now we're going to grab the inf child of 1. All right. Let's grab the inf child 1. So we're grabbing the first bar. And then we're going to do a transform translate y of -6 pixels. Let's take a look. So nothing happened. All right. Translate y of -6, and we're going to do a rotate of rotate of 45 degrees. Now let's see. You can see it rotate a little bit. All right. Now let's copy this, because now we're going to grab the third child. As you can see, it's like the same thing, but instead of translate y -6 pixels, and we're actually going to change this to 8 pixels, the first one to 8 pixels. All right. So instead of translating the third to 8 pixels, we're going to keep that at -6 pixels, but we're going to rotate this to -45 degrees. That's going to make a nice X there. So once we click this, as you can see, it turns to an X. So let's go up here and change this background color. Maybe we can add a background color to this. Let's do a background color to FFF. And also here as well to FFF. All right. And then up here we can change the color back to our regular color. So with that, we should have a responsive navbar. So once we click on this, opens up the menu. We got our X there. We got our links. Once we click on the link, it should close the menu. Nice. All right, so now it's time to start our hero section. So right underneath our header here, I'm gonna add a little comment, and this is going to say hero section. And let's start writing some HTML for this. So we have a section, and this section is going to have an ID of home. And I don't know if you guys can hear the noise outside. My neighbors just decided to start playing the music. It's a nice day outside, so I think they're having like a cookout or something. So if you guys hear a little bit of music in the background, that's the neighbors. I might go out there and join them here after this video. But we're gonna have a div, and this is gonna have a class name. I don't know why I keep saying class name like this is React, but class of container. We're gonna be using our reusable class there. And it's also gonna have a class name of hero. We're gonna have a div in here, and this is gonna have a class of hero info. And here we're gonna have a h2, and it's going to say I'm. And you're gonna put your name and put Antonio Rogers. And then we're gonna have a span. I'm actually just gonna copy this over here. So we're gonna have a span, and you just put your job title here. I'm not a UI UX designer. I just put that there because it just looks better than just front end developer. Let me restart my server. Let me head over to get rid of this. All right, so you could put your job title there. You could put developer, front end developer, and then after that span, we're gonna have a p tag. And here you could put anything as well for your little description. I just put a developer based in New York, specializing in user interface, blah 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 blah. All right. And after this p tag, we're gonna have a div, and this is gonna hold our hero buttons. So we're gonna give this a class of hero buttons. And then here we have an href, and this first button is gonna lead us to our portfolio. And then we have our button in here with an ARIA label of view my portfolio. All right. And this button's going to say my portfolio. Let's take a look. So it should have the styling, because we made this button styling up here to style all of the buttons for our project. And also should have this hover as well. It's kind of subtle. You can't really see it. We probably should change it. What I might do is take this and I forgot how you do opacity here. Maybe you just hover over it and just change the opacity like this. That's too much. Bring it up some. All right, that's better. I think we should do that. Yeah, instead of just black, because you can't really see it when it's just hover black. Let's head over back to our index.html, and right underneath this A tag, we have another one. But this one's going to download our resume. So the href is going to be slash. Actually, we don't even get our resume in our profile. So you want to add your PDF or whichever file type your resume is. Mine is a PDF, so I'm going to hit over here and drag my resume there. And it's just a little note that says, this is my resume. It's not my actual resume, but I'm just showing you guys how to have it download whenever somebody clicks on this button. So we're gonna have a slash, what is it called? My resume.pdf. Then we have a download, and then we're just going to download slash resume.pdf. All right. And here we have our button, and this is going to have an ARIA label of download my resume. And then it's going to say download resume. All right, so we can actually test this out right quick. So once we click on download resume, as you can see, we got our resume downloaded. And it's just a little note that says, this is my resume. But obviously you would want to put your actual resume there. All right, so now it's time to add our image of ourselves. So right after two closing divs from the A tag, we're going to have a div. And this is going to have a class of hero image dash image. And in here we have an image tag, and it's going to be our asset slash me. And then the alt is going to be just image of your name. All right, let's take a look. All right, perfect. So now it's time to actually start doing some CSS for this. And up here, where did we do our little divider? So let's copy this here, because now it's time to start our hero section styling. Let's scroll down, paste that there, and this is going to be hero section styling. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab the hero class first. And we're going to do a height of 100 VH. And do a padding of 4 rem, top and bottom, and 0 left and right. A gap of 5 rem. I'm going to display a flex. Justify content space between. And a align item center. Take a look. All right, already looking nice. Just off those few class names. I mean, few classes. Or few styles. We're gonna do a hero-info. And we're gonna make this a width of 500 pixels. All right. Nice. As you can see, once we did that, the image, because we're using Flexbox, the image took up that remaining space. So we're going to do a hero dash. Let's go ahead and do some styling to our info. I'm going to grab the H2 inside of this. And we're just going to make it a font size of 40 pixels. All right. And it's going to grab the span inside of our hero info. And we're going to make this a font size of 12 pixels. A font weight of bold, and also a color of 8868E96, like a little gray color. All right, so that's our little span there. Now it's time to do our P tag. I'm just going to copy this and take the P. And for this one, we're going to do a margin 10 pixels top and bottom, 0 left and right. We're going to do a font weight of 200 and a font size of 12 pixels. All right, perfect. Now it's time to style up these buttons a little bit. Well, we already styled them up, but we want to make it a flex and have them right next to each other. So we're going to grab the parent container I'm gonna do hero buttons, and we're going to do a margin top of 20 pixels, a display of flex, and a gap of 1 rem. Nice. All right, so let's start styling up the image now. So we're gonna do pound hero, grab the image inside of there, and we do a width of 450 pixels, a height of 450 pixels, object fit cover, and also a border radius of 40 pixels. Nice. All right, so now we just gotta make it responsive. So let's go ahead and inspect. And as you can see, it's not really responsive. So let's work on that now. So we're gonna do the same media query we did for our Navbar. We're gonna do the max width 768. Let's go ahead and do that now. So only at media, only screen, max width 768. And we want the hero section, the hero info. So instead of it being width 500 pixels, we want the width to be 100%. Right. And now we want to also grab the hero class, and we want to do a flex direction column. So that's going to put the image at the bottom and put all the text at the top. But we do need a little bit more styling because we don't have any content at the bottom now. But since we got it 100 VH, the image is going to go off of our hero section. It's going to like overlap it, and then it's going to start overlapping the content underneath here, which is going to be our about section. So to fix that, we don't want height 100 VH. We want to have a height of 100%. Right. And then we're going to do a padding of 2 rem top and bottom and 0, a text align center, and also a gap of 2 rem. All right, perfect. And now we got to grab our hero buttons, and we just got to do a justify content of center. Nice. So that right there is our hero section. Nice and responsive. All right, so now it is time for our about section. So right underneath our hero section, which ends right here, I have a comment that says about section. And this also is going to have a section tag with an ID of about, a class of about, and also an aria labeled by about heading, about dash heading. Right, and then we have a h2 in here with a class of section dash titles. So this right here is going to be a reusable class that we're going to have on all of our section titles. So we didn't make this class name yet, but we're going to do that here in a second. And it's also going to have an ID of about heading. So you probably already guessed it, but this aria labeled by is taken in the ID, which is this about heading. And so that means that this section is going to be labeled by this H2. Really self-explanatory. So about me. And then under our H2, we're going to have a div. Let me scroll down some. And this div is going to have a class of container and then about dash inner. I suck at naming class names, I know. I have another div with a class of about dash info. And then here we have a p tag. And I just did some larm with, I think I made like one sentence. Let me just paste this in here. So like a little paragraph about yourself. Yeah, I just most of this is Lorem, but I made like a sentence that just says I'm Antonio, a front-end developer. and then the rest of it is just alarm. All right, and then underneath this p tag, we're gonna have a ul, li, and this is going to have like our age, our email, and phone address. So just make sure you put in all of your details here. I'm just gonna paste that in there. So we got our age, email, phone, and then our address. And that's my actual address, by the way. All right, so underneath our UL, we're gonna have another div with the class of, actually, we're not gonna have this div here. Let's take that off, sorry. Actually take a look at this right quick. All right, that's perfect. All right, so we got our UL there. We got our closing div here. So right underneath that div, we're gonna have another div with the class of skills. And this is going to be where we have our progress bars. And we're gonna have a nice animation. So once a user hits this part of the screen, the progress bars start filling up. So we're gonna use JavaScript for that. So, but for now, we have a div with the class of progress bar. Progress dash bar. All right. And then it's also going to have a data dash. So once you do dash, you can actually name this whatever you want. Like I can do a data dash skills, but we're just going to do data dash percentage. All right. And for this one, it's going to equal, this is the first one. So this is going to equal 100. All right. So just like that. And inside this div, we're going to have another div with the class of label. And this is going to say HTML. You can have your own skills if you want. We can just copy these ones for now and just switch them up later. So HTML 100%. All right, we're going to have a div. And this div is going to be an empty span, or an empty div, sorry. And this is just going to have a class name of bar. All right, let's take a look. As you can see, we won't really see much. All right. And we can actually copy this progress bar. So we're going to have 4 of them. So we're going to paste it 1, 2, 3 more times. All right. And you can just change up the content inside of it. So this data percentage is CSS. So I'm going to do 80%. It's going to have 80, data percentage 80. And the label is going to be CSS, and the percentage is going to be 80. And the next one is JavaScript. I'll change this to JavaScript. And I always lowercase the s for some reason, but that s is supposed to be uppercase. And it's going to be 90%, and the data percentage is going to be 90. And last but not least is, I just did Figma. Or you could do React. I think I might just do React actually. So React and 85%. All right, so let's head over to the CSS and start styling this up. And scroll down. And here we got a little comment to separate the styling for this. Make some space. All right, so I'm gonna grab about class first. I'm gonna give this a padding of 2 rem, top and bottom, 0 left and right. And then we're gonna give this a background color of pound FFF, so white. All right. And then we're going to grab the about inner class. We're gonna do a display of grid. And then we're going to do grid template columns. 1FR, 1FR. All right. Perfect. And grab the about dash info. And this is going to be a width of 400 pixels. And now start styling up our text and stuff a little bit. So let's grab the p tag first. About dash info p. I'm gonna do a font size of 12 pixels. A line height of 1.5. A font weight of 100. And a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Take a look. Nice. And now let's grab that UL inside of our about info. Info UL. I'm gonna do a display of flex. A flex direction of column. A gap of 5 pixels. A font size of 12 pixels. A font weight of bold. And last but not least, a color of that 86 color, that 86E96. All right, perfect. And we forgot to do our section title class up here, so let's do that right on top of all of our reusable styling up here. We're gonna do a dot section dash titles, and this is going to make the font size of 18 pixels, a width of 100%, a text align center, and a margin bottom of 2 rem. Perfect. All right. So down here, it's going to finish up our about section. So we're going to now grab the bar, the progress bar. So progress bar, dash bar, do a width of 100%, a height of 20 pixels, a background color of F0, 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 and then a margin bottom of 2 rem, or sorry, 35 pixels. And we're also going to do a position of relative. Take a look. As you can see, got that progress bar there. And let's go ahead and grab our bar. And we're going to do a height of 100%, a background color of 212529, and also a width of 0. As you can see, it went away once we did that. We also going to have a transition, and we're going to transition the width 1 second, ease in and out. Now let's grab our label, and we're going to do position of absolute. We're going to do a font size of 12 pixels, a top of 50%, a left of 10 pixels, a transform translate Y of -50%, and then a color of white. I don't know why I keep saying columns. Color white, and then a font weight of bold. Let's take a look. All right, nice. Let's get rid of this width right quick. Let me just make sure. There we go. Perfect. And get rid of that. So there's going to be a few more styles, but I say we go ahead and head over to our app.js and let's write some JavaScript. So I got a comment here for progress bar animation. So we're going to do a document that add event listener. And instead of click, we're actually going to do DOM content loaded. So this is when the HTML document content is fully loaded. Then we're going to do a comma, and the second argument is always a function. So we're going to do function. Go ahead and grab our progress bar. We're going to do progress bar. And we're going to do a document query selector all. And we're going to grab the class progress dash bar. Progress dash bar. All right. And now we're going to make a function. And this function is basically just going to check if the element is within the viewport. So basically, whenever we scroll down and it hits like when the element is in view, that's when I want the animation to start. So we're going to do function is in view, and it's actually going to take an element. We're going to do a cons rect equals element dot get bounding client rect. Then we're going to check if the top and left edges are of the element is within the viewport. So we're going to do a cons is left visible, and it's going to equal rect dot left, and if it's greater or equal to 0. All right, and we could copy this because now we got to do the top. So all we got to do is just change this to top like that, and then change this to is top visible. All right, so this right here is to check if the left or top is within the viewport. Now we need to check if the bottom or right is within the viewport as well. So we're going to do a cons is bottom visible, but this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do rect dot bottom is less than or equal to our window dot inner width or our document dot document element dot client height. All right, so we can actually copy this and paste it again, and we just change it up. So now it's time to do is right visible, and just switch it up. So rect dot right and window dot inner width. Actually, so this is inner height. So this one, the bottom is inner height, sorry. Inner height. And then the right one is inner width. And then document element dot client width. All right, perfect. All right, and now we need to do, we need to return. So if all of the edges of the element are within the viewport, then it'll just return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So I'm gonna do return is left visible. I'm gonna do and is top visible, and is bottom visible, and is right visible. All right. So now let's do our function. So right outside of this bracket there, we're actually going to create another function, and this is the animate the progress bar. So we're going to do a function animate progress, and then we're going to do progress bar dot for each, and then we take it in a bar. Then we're going to return. All right, so let's go ahead and do our if check. So if is in a view, and remember we set a parameter here, taking in an element, so we just gotta send over this bar, and it's going to return. Maybe I did this all wrong, sorry. So we got that if is in view, and that's taken in a bar. Okay, that makes sense. We're gonna do a cons percentage, and that's going to equal bar dot get attribute data dash percentage. So I don't know if you guys remember, but whenever we was doing the HTML for our progress bars, we set this data percentage. And this is just getting that value from the data percentage attribute. Now we need to set the width of the progress bar according to the data percentage. So into a bar dot query selector, and then we're going to grab the bar class. Then we're going to do if you click dot, you should get access to style, or maybe not. Style dot width, and that's going to equal our percentage plus the little percentage sign, like that. All right, so this section here is supposed to go inside of this if check, so like that. And now let's initialize this animate progress. This function. So right under here, we're going to do just animate progress, like that. And now we're going to add an event listener whenever we scroll to continuously check for this to see if our progress bars are in view. So to do that, we're just going to make some space. What we're going to do is add a window that add event listener, and we'll listen out for a scroll, comma, animate progress. All right, so the whole reason why it's not working is because it auto completed to computed style map. I don't even know what that is. So we just want to do style dot width. And with that, once you save, as you can see, it works. So let's give it a refresh. And now once we scroll, it animates. And also I added a border radius to the bar as well. So make sure you add this border radius there. All right, so now it's time to make this responsive, because as of right now, it's not responsive at all. All right, so after this label, we're going to do at media only screen and max width, and we're going to do 768 pixels. And then we're just going to grab the about dash inner and do a display of flex, and then flex direction column, and also a gap of 30 pixels. All right, nice. So now let's do, we can probably do a, maybe should we do a text align center? Maybe we should, huh? Let's see. Text align center. Let's see how it looks centered. It's over there. It's because I think the width is still 500 pixels. So maybe we do a width of 100%. Or let's see, about inner. Width is 400 pixels. Oh, that's about info. Oh, okay. So what we'll do is we'll do about dash info, do a width of 100%. And that should center it. Nice. All right. And last but not least, we're going to, I think that's it actually. I think it looks nice on all screens. And animation should still work on this screen as well. Scroll down. Nice. All right, so now it's time to start our experience section. So I'm going to copy this, and right underneath this section here, add that in there, and just change this. I'm just going to put job section. All right. And what we can actually do is we can copy over all of this here, save us a little bit of time. And right underneath job section, we're going to paste that in there. We just need to make sure we close the section here. Do a section like that. All right. And we just got to switch everything up. So this section is going to be called, we can just do experience, ID of experience. And the class is going to be actually called jobs. ARIA labeled by is going to be called experience hitting. And H2 is going to be experience. It's going to have the same section title class, but the ID is going to be called experience hitting. All right, perfect. So we can actually start this section now. And this would be fast because we'll just create one and just copy the rest. So right underneath this H2, we're gonna have a div. Class is gonna have a container. In here, we're gonna have another div, and it's gonna be called, have a class of job-list. In here, we're gonna start our job. So the first one is going to be div class, and it's gonna have a job item, but it's also going to have another class, job-item-left. Right? And another div in here, no class name, just gonna separate some of the content. Have a span in here with the class of job-date, and then we have a date-left. And in here you could put your your current job. So this span is going to have, I'm gonna put May 2023 now. Right? And after this, we're gonna have another div with the class of job-content. And here we're gonna have an image, and the source can be one of the job logos. I'm going to do assets/YouTube, and the alt can just be YouTube logo. We're also going to give this a class of job-logo, like that. All right, our HTML, our page is going to be looking a little weird right now, but we're going to style it up. And then after, we have an H5. It's going to have our job title, content creator. And then our company name, I'm going to do YouTube, like that. And then after the H5, we're going to have a P. And I just got some like lorem in here. Paste that up in there right quick. All right, that's our first job. So we're actually going to create two because I don't know if you guys seen the demo. Well, obviously you did. But we're going to have like a nice little layout. So we're going to have our left job there. We have another job on the right here, another job on the left. So what I say we do is we create the first left one, then the right one, and then we'll just copy and paste them again. So this is our, let me just make a note here. So this is our first left job. All right, let's comment that out. All right, so now right underneath, so 3 divs down, so right here, this is going to be our first right job. All right, comment that out. All right, and we can actually copy and paste some of this stuff. So we can actually copy this whole job item here. Let's see where it ends at. All right, so yeah, all of this here. And we're gonna paste it again down here, and we'll just switch it up. All right, so first right job. So it's gonna have the job item, or actually it's going to have another div surrounding this whole job item, because we're gonna have to add a display flex on this, and we're gonna give it a flex in justify content, flex in. I think that's what it is. And I think it ends right there. Let's see. 3 divs down. Okay. So this is going to have a class of job-right. All right. So it's still going to have the job item class, but instead of job item left, it's going to be job item right. It's still going to have the div and job date, but it's going to be date right. And you can just change the date in here if you want. I'm going to do July 2021 to May 2023. Still going to have the same job content. We could change up the logo. I'm going to do Apple and just change this up to Apple logo and change up the H5 title. I'm going to do UI/UX designer, and it's at Apple. All right, and keep the lorem. All right, perfect. So we can actually start styling this up, and then we'll just copy and paste the rest. So let's head over to our styles, and let's copy our little divider here. And down here, we're going to have our job section styling. All right. So we're going to grab the jobs class. I'm going to do jobs, and it's going to have a padding of 2rem 0 and a background color. We can actually keep, because I believe let me just scroll up right quick. F8. Okay, we don't have to add a background color to this. I think it'll look better when it's gray, because we got this section white here. So nice little separation there. I'm going to grab the P tag, so I'm going to do jobs P. Have a font size of 12 pixels. All right. And now let's grab the job list. Job list. That's going to have a position of relative. And now we're going to do a job list. We're going to do before. And then whenever you use before, you got to make sure you do content. If you don't want any content, you just do empty quotes like that. But this content is going to have a position of absolute. Position absolute. A margin of 0. Auto. And this is just going to be that little line in the middle of our section. And then it's gonna have an inset. So inset is basically top, left, right, bottom. And we just want it to be 0 pixels. We could probably just do 0 actually, not 0 pixels. I think that should still work. And do a width of 1 pixel. And then also a background color of that 212 number. All right, as you can see, we got that nice line right in the middle. All right. We'll probably change this to another color. 868. 868 E96. A little gray. I think that looks better. All right, and now let's grab our job content. Job content. And do a position relative. Overflow hidden. Overflow hidden. I'm so used to Tailwind. Overflow hidden. Like, oh my god, I can't even write class names. A height of 100%. A width of 100%. A padding of 20 pixels. A display of flex. A flex direction column. a justify content center, and also a gap of 10 pixels. All right, nice. All right, let's say we work on this image. This is a little too big. Or actually, let's just finish out because some other things we have to do. So let's drop the job item. So this is the class name that's holding our entire job. So we're gonna have a border of 2 pixels, solid, and the border is gonna have this 86896 number. That's gonna be the color. I'm gonna give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels, a width of calc 50% minus 30 pixels. Take a look. As you can see, we got this on the left and that on the right now. I mean, they're both on the left, sorry, but we want that one on the right. That's going to be on the right in a second. I'm going to do a border radius of 3 pixels, a min height of 160 pixels, position relative, a z index of 1, and also a display of flex. Right? So the whole reason why it didn't change in height because of this image, because we did set this min height, but if I change this to max, you're gonna see that the box turns small. I mean, the image is, what's the name? Cut off. So just gonna change that to min. And now we're gonna grab the left one first. So job dash item dash left. I'm gonna give this a margin right of 30 pixels. Right. Give it a margin right. And now we're gonna do the same for the right one as well. So we can just copy this and change this to right. But instead of margin right, we're actually gonna do left. Margin left, 30 pixels. All right. And now let's grab the job item before, because we want these plus signs right here on our line. And there's a little trick to that. So we're gonna do a job dash item dot before, and we're gonna do a content as well, but instead of empty quotes, we're gonna do the plus sign like that. And then we're gonna do a text align center, a width of 36 pixels, a height of 36 pixels, a background color of our background that we're using now, which is this F0 F0, and then we're gonna do a position absolute, a top of 35%, a line height of 32 pixels, a right of -48 pixels, and then a font of 24 pixels. So with that, we should see it's right there, but I don't know why our background color is. Hold on, let's see what's up with this. Oh, our background color is this F8 F8. So let's change the background color for this. Nice. So we got those plus signs there now. That's our job item before. And now let's work on our job logo. Job dash logo. And this is also going to be position absolute. A width of 200 pixels. A height of auto. I don't even think we need to hide auto because we added that reusable class at the top that reset that all images have a height of auto. We're gonna do a z index of -9. We're gonna do a right of -20 pixels, and then a top of 10 pixels. And let's take a look and see where we're at. As you can see, it's right there. Top 10 pixels. Hopefully this all fixes out once we finish. We are going to add a filter to these images, so we can do filter, and we're going to do a grayscale 100%, and we can also change the opacity to 15%. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our job date. Now, so we do job dash date. And this is going to also be position absolute. A lot of position absolute for this section. I'm going to do a top of 45%, a font size of 13 pixels. All right, so now our image fixed. So our date is right there. So that's job date. So now we need to add those other classes. So we're going to do a date of left. We want to do a transform and do a translate 100%, comma, negative 50%. And also a right, oh man, a right of negative 65 pixels. There's a lot of playing around with these numbers. All right, nice. So now we need to do a date right. Date right. And this one is going to be a translate negative 100% and also a negative 50%, but it's going to be a left negative 65%. So that's going to be here on the left there. But our box is there, so it's in the way. So let's actually get rid of that now. So we're going to do a job dash right. And this is going to be a display of flex and a justify content flex in. Now we got our job right there on the right. And now we need to grab our before our plus sign for our job right. So we're going to do a job dash item dash right. I'm going to grab the before, which is the plus sign. I'm just going to do a left of negative 48 pixels. And the plus sign is right there. And our date is right there. Perfect. All right. So yeah, if we got our left one and we got our right one now, we'll come back and make it responsive, but let's go ahead and add the rest of our job. So we want another left one down here. So let's just grab a job left up here. And we're going to paste it. So I believe it's 4 divs down, 4 closing divs down. So right here, give that a save, make sure. And we could change up the content. So you guys can pause the video and just do this right quick if you want. And do August 2019 to July 2021. Change this to Facebook logo, and software engineer. I really wish I worked all these places. Software engineer, Facebook. All right, that's our Facebook one, and now let's grab a job right. But make sure you grab this outer div there, this job right one. And it's 4 closing divs down, so right there. I believe this one is 3. That one. All right, perfect. And switch up everything in this one as well. I'm gonna do July 2015 to May 2018. This one's going to be Google. And UI UX designer at Google as well. There we go. Nice. So that is our experience section. We do have to make it responsive though. Let's take a look, see what we're working with. All right, so bring it up something like that. All right, as you can see, it looks weird. So let's fix that. So under styles, let's see. Let's grab the little media query we've been using up here. Head back down. All right, so we're gonna grab the job list first. Job list, and we're gonna do a display of flex, a flex direction column, and then a gap of 20 pixels. So that right there, oh, never mind. I thought it would fix it. What's happened is if we make this job item with 100%, a padding of 20 pixels. Let's see what happened. See now it, okay. I was confused on why it didn't, why it wasn't the width 100%. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do job item with 100%, padding 20%. And grab our job content, and we're gonna give that a padding of 0. Because up there we added a padding on our job content, but here we're gonna add a padding on our job item in total. So let's grab our job logo, and we're gonna do a display none. We don't want it shown on mobile. Display none. I put display logo. All right, and then we also want our job item or job list before that little line. We don't want that to display none as well. Take a look. Okay. And then we're gonna do a job item before as well. Job item before. We want that to be display none. So that little plus sign. All right. And then we're gonna grab the job item right and job item left. Job item right. Job item left, comma, job item right, and then we're going to do a margin of 0. That, all right, perfect. And we're going to do the job date. Job date, because right now you don't even see the job date. It's off the screen because it's position absolute. So I'm going to grab the job date and make it position of static. That's going to add the date right there. Nice. And we can do a job right, a display of block. All right, I think that is it for this section. And it looks nice. Come out, still looks nice. Bam. Nice. Nice and responsive. Perfect. All right, so now it's time to do our project section. Just going to get our little divider here. And right underneath all of this here, add another section, and it's going to be our projects section. Can remove some of that. All right. And same thing, we can actually copy the section title and all of this stuff up here. Same thing we did. And paste it down here. We just got to make sure we close the section. All right, so this ID is going to be portfolio. And the class for this one is going to be portfolio. And ARIA label, portfolio hidden. Section title, we can just do some of my work, because we're not going to post all of our work here. Section title, and then ID is going to be portfolio. Spelled that wrong. Portfolio hidden. All right, take a look. All right, nice. All right, so after this h2, we're gonna have a div, and it's gonna have our container class. And here we're gonna have another div with the class of projects. And then we're gonna have another div, the class of project dash images. Another div in here with a class of project without the S. Then another div with the class of card. And then an empty div, this is gonna be our little overlay, and the class of bg dash overlay. And then after this, we're gonna have an image, and then we could do assets. Oh man. So we can just post the first project in here, assets p1. And we also give this a class of overlay image. Overlay dash image. And alt can just be I don't know if we want to alt for this. Let me just like overlay image, I guess, or just project image maybe. Project dash image. Let's take a look. Oh wait, p1. Oh, p1 dot png. All right, it's our first project. We're actually going to copy this and we're going to paste it again because we want 2 images of it. And this is going to have a class of our main image. All right. And right after this, we're going to have, so right after this div here, we're going to have another div with a class of content with the h4 of our project name, which was tech post. And then a span of what it was made with, next.js / tailwind. Alright. So let's style this one up and then we're just going to paste the rest. So let's head over to styles. And let's get our little divider up here. Paste it down here. All right, so this is our project section. All right, so we're gonna grab portfolio and we're gonna give it a padding 2rem 0. Then we're gonna grab the bg overlay, bg dash overlay. I'm gonna give this a position of absolute, a top of 0, a left of 0, a width of 100%, a height of 100%, and a background color of the FO, like that. All right, you're not gonna see anything yet. And now I'm gonna grab our card. And do an overflow of hidden. All right. So hidden. We're gonna do a height of 350 pixels. So this should make a big change. We got a height 350 pixels. And we're gonna do a padding of 100 pixels. 100 pixels. So that's top, right, 100 pixels. 0 at the bottom and 100 pixels on the left. All right. Then we're going to do a position of relative. Well, as you see, the gray background is there. We're going to do a display of flex and a justify content center. All right. So that's, this overlays this gray background up here. All right. And then we're going to grab our project images, project dash images. I'm going to do a margin of 0 auto, a display of grid, a grid template columns of repeat, 2 min max 0, 1 FR. Right. And we also want to give it a gap of 30 pixels. All right, and let's grab our overlay image now. Overlay dash image. We also want to do position absolute. We're going to do a transform translate. We're going to do -50%, comma, -50%. And you also want to rotate it as well. Let's take a look at it first. See where it's at. So as you can see, it's right there. Let's give it a width and a height. I'm gonna do a height of 400 pixels and actually a width of 400 pixels. I'm gonna do a height 400 pixels or 500 pixels, sorry, and a width of 400 pixels. All right, so it's right there. We do want it to rotate. I'm gonna do a rotate of -45 degrees. It is rotating. And we also can give it opacity of 50%. And we also going to do a filter, grayscale of 100%. All right, it's right there. I think we need to do like a top. Let's do a top of 50% and a left of 50%. Nice. It's right there where we want it. All right, so that's our overlay image. And now let's grab our main image. Well, actually, no, we don't need to grab our main image. We're going to grab project images, grab image, and we do the inf child of 3. All right, so this is going to grab our main image. I don't even know where we made a main image class. I'm going to do a width of 100%. Or maybe I'm gonna see if that works after this. Position of relative, a border radius of 0, a cursor pointer, object fit, top, or object position, sorry. Object position, top, and a z index of 1. Alright, so as you can see, we got our image there. I wonder if we have to do a height auto, maybe. Wait, maybe not. Wonder why it's like looking weird like that. We got our width, object position, top, border, position relative. All right, let's go ahead and finish this out, and we'll see what's wrong with that. Let's grab the project, that content, grab the H4. I'll make this a font size of 18 pixels and a margin top of 10 pixels. All right, so let's grab in the H4 there. And now let's grab the span. We're just gonna make this a font size of 12 pixels. All right. Really wonder why the image is doing that with 100% position auto. Let's change this to main dash image like that. Width Or maybe we should do, let's do a height of 100%. See what happens. Or object position. Object fit cover maybe. Okay, that fixed it. Object fit cover. Wonder why I don't have that on my. Okay, we can keep it like that for now. We can get rid of the height 100%. And we can keep it like that for now. Let's go ahead and copy over. And I might not change the content for it this time. So we're gonna copy over project there. So project right here. Project. All right. Let's copy that and we're gonna paste it 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. And we should have our 3 projects there. All right, so just a few changes before we move on to the next section. Instead of width 100% on our main image, we're going to change it to min width 300 pixels. And we also going to add a quick media query right quick. I'm just going to paste it in there. So it's the same media query we've been using throughout the whole project. Max width 768 pixels. And we're just taking our project image grid and just repeating 1FR. So let's go ahead and inspect. And as you can see, it looks good on all media. I mean, all screen sizes. How do I? Oh, I got to do responsive. As you can see, we come down. They switch to that 1FR grid. All right, perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and start our contact section. And let's just make sure everything was good. It's actually, I want to say maybe like I started recording this like 2 weeks ago and just now finished it. I had to take a long break. I was just getting mentally drained from doing projects back to back to back. And I don't know if you guys know this, but before me doing all these projects, I was recording every single day my coding journey. And I went 189 days straight of me recording that. So it's like I really haven't had like a break until recently. So that break was really needed. So I tried to backtrack to make sure we didn't miss anything. So if I did, just make sure to write in the comments. And if you guys don't get anything, and hit me up on Discord or anything, and I'll be happy to help you guys out. So let's go ahead and work on a contact section now. And before we do that, actually, we're going to head over to email.js. And if you don't have an account, just go ahead and make one, because we're going to make this contact form actually work. Once somebody fills it out, it's going to send directly to our email. So we're going to be using email.js. So once you create an account, you're going to be directed to this page here. You're going to click on add new service. And you choose whichever email. I cannot believe AOL Mail is still a thing. And Yahoo Mail, wow. So yeah, just make sure you add your service. And you're going to get the service ID here. Make sure you do your Gmail connect. If you're using Gmail, connect your email, blah, blah, blah. All right, then head over to email templates. And you want to go ahead and create a new template. And you can keep everything default. Let me just check out my template I have, make sure it's, so here's the one I have. I got subject, name, and then I got message. Yeah, we could keep it like this, the default. So let me just go ahead and create a new one. So mine is hello to, mine is a little bit different. Hello to name. You can keep it this if you want, but we want to change it from, how do I edit? Oh, edit content. Design editor. All right, yeah, we could just change this to name and then keep it message and hello to, you could just hello, and you could just put your name there. Hello, Antonio. You got a new message from name, And this name here is going to come from our input, and this message here is going to come from our input as well. So we can just put message and name there. Then we're going to click on apply changes. And we should get a template ID, which is this here, but we don't need it yet. So let's just go ahead and save this template. So I should have 2 templates now. All right. So we're going to keep this screen open, and now let's start working on our contact section. So let's head over to not that styles index, sorry. And let's start writing some HTML. So right underneath this section, we have another section. And this is going to have a class of contact with an ID of contact as well. And then we have a div with the class of container. We have h1 that says let's have a discussion. Hopefully I spelled that right. All right. And we're going to wrap our discussion with a strong tag. Strong. Like that. And where the hell did it go? Well, that's weird. All right. Can write it in here again. Discussion. All right. Let's take a quick look. All right, so let's have a discussion. And now we're going to have a P tag that just says, please allow 24 to 48 hours for a response. Thank you. A P tag right there. All right, and then we got under this P tag, this is where we're going to start our form. We have a div. We have a form. We're not using the action. However, we are going to have a on submit, and it's going to have our a send email function we're going to have in our app.js. So we're going to give this form an ID of contact form, an ARIA label of contact form, and then an on submit of send email. We didn't make this yet. It's our send email function. All right. And then inside this form, we have another div class of form dash row. All right. And we have an input here. Type text. Name is going to be name. ID is going to be name. Class is going to be form dash input. Placeholder is going to be your name. We're also going to make this required. And we're also going to give it an ARIA label of your name. All right. Take a quick look. All right, so we got that there. And we can actually copy this. And we're going to paste it again. So this one's going to be type email. Email. The name is going to be email. ID is going to be email. Class is going to be form input. Placeholder, your email. Required, and ARIA label, your email. All right. So that's that. Now we need our text area. So name this one is going to be message. ID is going to be message. Columns, we can actually remove columns. However, for rows, we're going to do the number 6. All right. And this is also going to have a class of form input. And we're going to make this required as well. And it's going to have a placeholder of enter your message here. Right. And we also can give it a style of resize none. And we're going to give it an ARIA label of your message. All right, nice. So now we can start styling this. Actually, we need our button. So underneath our text area, we're gonna have another div with the class of form-button. We have a button. And this is gonna have a type of submit. And it's just going to say submit. Submit your message. Like that. All right. Nice. Let's see. So let's head over to style.css and let's start styling this up. It's not that many styles. Let's do our little divider thing over here. Let's copy this. And we're going to paste that down there. Let's change this to contact. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our contact class. And we're going to change the background color. Oh man. Background color to our FO. And do padding 3 rem 0. Margin top of 3 rem. And a text align center. All right. Now let's grab our H1, contact H1, and do a font weight of 100. Let me see if that actually did anything. Okay, I had to make sure, but as you can see, our strong is still there. We're gonna do a font size of 40 pixels, a text transform of uppercase, and a margin bottom of 40 pixels. Nice. All right. Now let's grab our P tag, contact P, and we're going to change the color of this to 212529. Give this a margin bottom 10 pixels and a font size of 14 pixels. All right, nice. Let's grab our form. Give our form a width of 100%. Let me do that. Nothing changes. We're gonna do a max width of 700 pixels and a margin of 0 auto. Right. So now we're about to do our form input. Form-input. Do a margin bottom 20 pixels, width 100%, a margin of 15 pixels, top and bottom 0 left and right, padding all around of 10 pixels. We also give it a border 1 pixels, solid, and we're gonna do 868 E96, and also give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Nice. All right, let's grab our form row, form-row, and we're also gonna do a display of grid. And do a grid template columns, and do a repeat to 1FR. Right, because we want our name and email to be right next to each other. Now we got to give it a gap of 30 pixels, and we can also do an align item center just to make sure everything is centered. All right, so now it's time to link email.js up with this form. So you already created an account, we created a template, and we also got our service ID. So now let's head over to docs, and I'm gonna scroll down to installation. And here under browser script, we're gonna copy this top part here, this script. Let me just zoom in maybe. as you guys can see. So this part here, I'm going to copy that. You don't got to worry about none of this down here yet. Let me just go ahead and zoom back out. And we're going to head over to our index HTML and we're going to paste it right underneath our Google font links here. As long as it's inside of our head, it should be fine. All right. Nothing changes, which is good. So now we're going to make our function inside of our app.js. So let's head over to app.js. So let's go and do function send. Did we do send mail, right? Send mail. And we're going to do a const service ID. All right. And this is where you paste your service ID. So let's head over here. Let's get this. Copy that. And we're going to paste that there. And then we're going to do a const template ID. And then head back over to email.js. Email templates. I believe this is the one here. Head over to settings and then copy over this template. Email ID. Paste that in there. All right. And then the only thing we got to do now is we got to do email JS dot send form. All of this is inside of the docs. We're going to send over our service ID, our template ID, and then we also going to do a document dot get element by ID, and we're going to grab our contact form because remember we added this ID to our contact form. All right, so contact form, and then we're going to do a dot then alert, and you can make this message whatever you want. I'm going to do your message has been sent. All right, let's give that a save, and we can actually test this out right now. I'm going to just type in that email any message, click on submit. So we didn't get the alert. I think I did. Okay, send mail. Did I do send email? Get over to here right quick. Our index. Scroll down. Okay, yeah, I did send email. That's why. I knew I did something wrong there. App.js. So send email for our function. Now let's try this out. Antonio. Oh, I gotta make sure it's an email address. And submit. We get the alert. Click on OK. It refreshes. Let's check our email. Make sure we received this. So a few changes. As you can see, we got 3 closing parentheses there. We're gonna remove one, and we actually want it to close up here after our get element ID. So we're gonna add another parentheses there, but it still won't work because we forgot to do this. So we head back over to installation, and as you can see, we got this function here with our public key that we got to add in our HTML. Let's go ahead and copy this and head over to our index. Let's head up to the top here, and right underneath our script there, we're going to add that function like that. And we need to get our public key. And to do that, we're going to head over to personal settings, or actually account, and then our public key is right here. So we can remove this, and we're just going to add our public key. All right, let's give that a save, and now let's test this out. Antonio, hey, send message, click OK, and hopefully it comes. To get this to work, I had to make a whole new email.js account. For some reason, all of the emails that was getting sent to the email that I created this account with, not the email that I connected this email service with. So I had this email open thinking that the emails was going to get sent here. However, they was getting sent to another email. So honestly, you all emails were probably working after we made these changes, after we added this script here and added our public ID. So those are the only changes that I've made. I just changed up my public ID because, like I said, I had to create a whole new account, and also made a new template as well and had a new service ID number inside of our app.js. All right, so with those changes, hopefully mine works now. Wanna click on this, submit message, we get the alert saying it's okay. And my phone just went off, so that means that it worked. All right, so this is how the message comes in. As you can see, it says hello. We're actually gonna fix this up a bit because, as you can see, we don't even get an email in here. So to fix this template up, we're gonna head over to email templates. And like I said, I had to make a new account. So we could just change this to hello. Oh, we gotta edit content, design editor. Hello, Antonio. You got a new message from name, and then this is the message. Let me go back. So that's the message there. And then we can also, underneath here, we can do something. I don't know why it's like a little gray border there. I don't like that. Can I get rid of that? Okay, I got rid of that. All right, and then we could just do email. So this is going to be our contact email. I mean our the person who's sending the email. We're gonna have their email right here. All right. Well, actually, it should come. Does it come from? So yeah, it doesn't even come from their email. So that makes sense. All right. So email is there, and then we can apply changes. And let's see. Let's save this right quick. And like I said, you can fix up this template. You can make it all fancy if you want. But I'm just showing you how to change it. All right, so this is how it looks. So as you can see, we got the message, I want to hire you. And we got a new message from Antonio. And then the email from that person who's sending the email. So that way you can maybe take this email and reply back to them. And yeah, so that is that. That is how you add email.js to your project. So now I say we go ahead and just finish out this footer right quick. Okay, here is called Ion Icons, and we gotta head over to usage. And we just gotta copy over these scripts here. And paste it. We could paste it right underneath our email.js stuff. Paste it right there. All right, and close out of that now. And then head back over to our project. And let's go down here. So right underneath this section here, this is where we're gonna have our footer. And it's gonna be a quick footer here. We're just gonna have a div in here with the class of container and footer dash container. We have a p tag, and we're gonna have like this little copy symbol. It's like the little copyright logo. There, as you can see, 2024, AntonioRogers.com, all rights reserved. And then I'm actually going to copy these icons here. It's right underneath this p tag. We're going to have another div with the class of footer dash icon. Sorry about those people outside. I don't know why they beeping. Alright, and I'm gonna paste these icons in here. We're using 1, 2, 3, 4 icons. So now we can start styling this up. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy over this here. And I just thought about something. Do our contact section don't need any media queries? If so, that would be awesome. I think it doesn't because we use 100%. And then Yeah, we got width 100%, so that means like the form inputs are going to shrink. Let's see how this looks on. Oh yeah, we might gotta add some media query, guys. I didn't notice that until now. Yeah. All right. We're gonna come back to that here in a second. Let's just do this footer right quick, and then we can add some media queries. That shouldn't be too much to add. It's probably like 1 or 2. We're gonna do footer dash container, and we're gonna text align center, a background color of our FO, so it can blend in with our contact section. Do a font size of 14 pixels, a padding of 1 rem, 0 top and bottom, left and right. Do a width of 100%, flex direction column, align item center, and then a gap of 10 pixels. Sorry. Good look. All right. Let's grab our icons now. Footer dash icons. And we're just going to do a font size of 20 pixels. We'll change the color of them to our 212529. Display a flex. Align item center. You're going to do a cursor pointer. And also a gap of 10 pixels. All right. Put that a save. And let's see. I believe we got to do a let's do maybe a justify content center as well. I don't know why that's over there. There we go. And we can do a margin top of 10 pixels. That a save. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and make a media query for this. I didn't do this for my project. I must have forgot to do it. So we're just gonna try to figure this out ourselves here. I actually want to make this responsive. It's like a little bug. You gotta like close it out and then open it back up. All right. Bring this down there. Let's inspect again. Okay. So what I say we do is, as you can see, there's no padding right there on our form. So what I like to do is before I add a media query, I just like just playing around with the regular classes. So if we add a padding, or padding left and right, so let's do a padding of top and bottom 0, left and right. Let's do 20 pixels. Let's see, as you can see, it added that padding. So that's one thing that we're gonna have to add inside of our media query. And then honestly, I believe that's probably all we need. Let's see. All right, let's see how this looks. Okay. So yeah, I believe that's all we would need, guys, is that padding. Let's head back over to F1C. So if we get rid of that padding, it just doesn't, as you can see, it's like going right there on the edges. It just doesn't look right. So I say we go ahead and add that padding. But honestly, let's see how it looks with it here. Let's do a padding top and bottom 0, 20 pixels. Honestly, we can keep it there without even adding a media query, because I mean, you don't really notice it here either. So yeah, I believe that is it, guys. Everything works. Once we click these, it closes our contact section. Nice. Perfect. All right, so yeah, guys, I think that is it for this project. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It's more of a beginner project, and I think it's a really nice portfolio, especially a beginner portfolio. And like I said before, I took a break from coding, the longest break that I've took in a year and a half. But I'm back now, and my mind is refreshed. So I got a ton of projects lined up, and that I'm about to start building. And so look out for all the full stack Next.js projects. And I will see you guys next video. Peace.